A young soldier once came to confess. He began reciting the usual sins, rushing through the list. Padre Pio stopped him mid-sentence. "You have forgotten something," he said softly. The man hesitated. Padre Pio's voice grew firmer. "What about the sin from that night? The one you committed far from home?" The soldier went pale. He had once abandoned a wounded comrade during battle and never told anyone. Trembling, he admitted it, sobbing uncontrollably. Padre Pio placed his wounded hand on the man's head and said, "Go in peace, my son. The Lord has already forgiven you because you have come back to him." Witnesses say the soldier left the church as if reborn, repeating over and over, "I feel light again, I feel free." Not everyone who came believed in him. One woman came to test him, convinced the stories were nonsense. She entered the confessional with a smirk, ready to expose him as a fraud. Padre Pio remained silent for a moment, then said calmly, "Leave. You are not ready for God's forgiveness." She was stunned. "What do you mean?" she asked. He answered, "You come here to play with the sacred. Come back when your heart is sincere." She left in anger, but that night she couldn't sleep. She said she felt a heavy presence, as if the words, "You are not ready," echoed in her mind. 2 days later she returned, pale and shaken, fell to her knees and confessed everything. Pride, lies, cruelty. When she finished, Padre Pio smiled for the first time and said, "Now your soul is clean. Welcome home." From that day on, she became one of his most devoted spiritual daughters. Another penitent tried to deceive him. A wealthy businessman who didn't believe in confession came only because his wife begged him. He decided to hide his gravest sin, cheating in business and destroying the lives of his employees. When he finished confessing minor faults, Padre Pio looked at him sternly. "You have not told everything," he said. The man insisted, "That's all." Padre Pio leaned forward and said, "You stole bread from the mouths of families. You took what was not yours and called it cleverness." The man was speechless. He later said he felt as if Padre Pio's eyes pierced right through him. Overwhelmed, he confessed everything, promised restitution, and left the monastery a changed man. Then there was the young man haunted by guilt toward his late mother. He entered the confessional trembling. Padre Pio listened quietly, then closed his eyes. After a long silence, he said, "Your mother is praying for you now. She forgives you. She is happy." The young man began to cry uncontrollably. His mother had died suddenly years before after a terrible argument, and he had never asked her forgiveness. Padre Pio placed his hand on the grill and said, "She is closer than you think. Make peace with her through prayer." The man later testified that as he left the church, he smelled the scent of roses and felt an indescribable warmth, something he never forgot. One of the most remarkable stories involves an atheist doctor, Dr. Giorgio Festorazzi, sent by church authorities to examine Padre Pio's mysterious stigmata. The doctor arrived skeptical and detached. After his examination, Padre Pio invited him to confession. The doctor hesitated but agreed out of politeness. As soon as he knelt, Padre Pio said, "Doctor, how could you speak so cruelly to that poor woman last week?" The doctor froze. Only he knew he had insulted a dying patient in anger. Padre Pio continued gently, "She suffered more from your words than from her illness. Ask her forgiveness in your prayers." The doctor's skepticism collapsed. He confessed sincerely and later wrote, "I entered that confessional a man of science, and I left a man of faith." Day after day, Padre Pio sat for hours, hearing the confessions of strangers who became his children in faith. He could see into hearts, revealing the truth they were too afraid to speak. People traveled from across the world just to kneel before him for a moment of grace. What began as confession often ended in tears, healing, and renewal. In that sacred space, heaven and earth seemed to meet, one soul at a time.